How do I register my residential address in Austria? What are some common house rules and regulations? What rights and obligations do I have when leasing in Austria? In this Start Wien video, we will take a closer look at these topics. Let's start with the Meldepflicht, the mandatory residence registration. The mandatory registration of your residential address applies to all people who live in Austria. If you have a new residential address, you must report this within 3 days. The registration certificate is issued by the respective municipal district office, the Bezirksamt. You will need a valid passport, your birth certificate, the birth certificates of all minor children in the household, and the completed residence registration form, Meldezettel, signed by the owner or property management. A list of all service centers, the residence registration form, and other useful information can be found online at wien.gov.at/Verwaltung/Meldeservice or directly at your municipal district office. My tip: the mandatory residence registration is extremely important. It facilitates official channels and is one of the prerequisites for applying for citizenship. Your main residence is the place where you live the most. In addition, you can register one or more secondary residences. Living also means living together. To ensure that living with neighbors in a house is harmonious, there are certain house rules, the so-called Hausordnung. These include cleanliness, safety and security, peace and consideration, the use of common areas, or barbecuing in the courtyard and on the balcony. Cleanliness also includes waste separation. Therefore, you will find containers for residual waste and waste paper in the building or courtyard. In larger residential complexes and at public locations, there are also yellow garbage bins for plastic bottles, beverage cartons and cans, collection bins for white and colored glass, and garbage bins for biodegradable waste. Hazardous waste such as empty batteries, medicines, or electronic waste can be disposed free of charge at the hazardous waste collection points or at the waste disposal sites of MA48. In addition to waste separation, you must also observe the Hausordnung. For example, you should keep the front gate closed and not obstruct staircases with bicycles or furniture. You may barbecue if the lease agreement or the house rules do not prohibit it, and if no one feels disturbed. Another important point of the house rules has to do with night rest, which applies between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. During these times, you should avoid loud noise. You should also show consideration to your neighbors outside of these specific times. Let's look at an example. Martin works from home. New neighbors have moved into the apartment next door. Ever since, there's drilling, hammering, loud music, and partying. Another neighbor recently bought a dog, and Martin feels disturbed by the barking as well. He contacts the property management and learns that renovation work outside quiet hours and also pets are part of living together with neighbors. Regarding the music, however, he can contact the new neighbors directly. Martin politely explains that he needs quiet to work. The neighbors now take care not to play music too loud and invite Martin and the other neighbors to their next party. When you lease a home in Austria, you have rights and obligations. These are outlined specifically in the lease agreement, in the house rules, and by law. Your rights include the handover of the apartment in the agreed condition, the sole right to use the apartment, the protection from noise, odor, or other nuisances, the right to maintenance of the apartment by the owners, the right to make minor changes in the apartment, but you need a permit to install a satellite dish or to build walls. Your obligations include the monthly payment of the lease, not paying as a reason for termination, the annual maintenance of the heating boiler by a professional, letting chimney sweepers and other professionals enter your apartment. My tip: take your rights and obligations regarding the apartment lease seriously. and use the service of Mittelhilfe Wien.